very much.
You don't
Nice
have
to
to
see you
stay.
again.
Take care.
You can't come in here. He says, yeah, been of the Board of Appeals. Planning board have standing automatically. And they said, as a board, not individuals, just because you lost the vote, doesn't mean you can appeal their decision.
Okay, we back live. Are we back live?
Yes, we're supposed to be recording.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
I did.
we're gonna move to the next agenda item.
Good, I'll take that.
So I can copy this.
Okay.
And I'll make sure I have that right one, and I'll copy it, and you'll pick them up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you ready to go, Terry?
Yep.
We'll get out of here quickly. Consideration of using ARP funds to provide COVID-19 vaccine incentives. I asked for this to be on the agenda. I have a proposal I'd like to put in front of you folks. Oops, sorry. I would like us to use some of our, or at least make available, ARP funds to provide a vaccine incentive to any resident of South Thomaston, any non-resident who is employed here, including Sternman or others, any non-resident who is temporarily living here, or other frequent visitor at the discretion of the town administrator. And I'm thinking of people who visit here on a regular basis, be they truck drivers or delivery people or the UPS guy or anybody who could bring it in. I'd like to keep it simple. Documentation would be very limited. And I would like to see the incentive provided for anybody who gets a shot between tonight and September 12th. And the second one would have, they'd have to get the second one too, but that could be up to 12. In order to get their money, they'd have to provide their copy of their COVID-19 vaccine record. I'd like to spend a little money on a little bit of publicity. I don't think we're going to get a lot here because we have a very high vaccination rate. But I would like us to give it a try. I talked to two, and the reason, actually, I'm going to tell you why I'm proposing this. I talked to two young people in their 20s in the last couple of weeks who are not vaccinated. I'm particularly opposed to it. But one of the story was, well, I went to Walmart and there was a big line, so I left. And then the next day, 2 days later, I was going to go, but I had a flat tire. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, what's it going to take to move this crap? And I don't think it's going to cost us a lot of money. This is the highest priority for use of these funds. I think we may not even get any takers. Know that. I'd like to at least make an effort to push it, given what's going on.
And I'll tell you that I support it 100%, except that businesses, all they have to do is say, I have 5 people that got the shot during these X months, and they get $100 a piece to give to the individual, plus some incentive.
Shotgun approach. I don't, you know, I mean,
Well, I mean, so what we'll end up with is, I mean, if you extrapolate that, if the county does it, the state does it, we do it, and the businesses do it, then an individual going to get a shot between these days can come home with $600.
I don't care. I mean, this to me is not about these individuals. This to me is about you and me and the kids get back to school and the people in nursing homes. I mean, I hate the fact that I'm even proposing, but I'm not going to be so proud about it. I just leave it at that.
So I think you start from being conflicted. And as do I. I mean,
I feel like we're bribing.
exactly. We're rewarding people for stupidity.
Well, I wasn't going to say that.
Well, I'm not it's like the lottery, you know. So yes, I support that. I had after I worked my way through how upset I am that we have to do this. What makes sense is that we demonstrate that we're using the funds for the number one priority for their use as the government intended. So that's a good thing. It's a modest investment.
I figure if we get 2 people, it's worth it.
Yeah, where I was at was So if there are 358 people that are unvaccinated, and I don't think, I think the 1630 is the wrong number. The universe of population in 58 is not 1630 that are eligible. So I said, well, okay, get vaccinated and your name goes into a raffle. And if we get 100 people, the winner gets $5,000. And if we get 200 people, the winner gets $10,000. So I was even way more liberal than $200 a person.
But, yeah, and I'm willing to increase that to 100. But I know Biden's asking for 100. To me, 100 isn't gonna move people. 200,
I mean, it's already spiked. There are lots of people there. Like you said, most people who didn't get it, I'm saying most, I kind of caveat.
well, some people
Right.
have medical conditions.
Right.
I can't.
But most of the people who didn't get it is just because they didn't get it. That because of whatever excuses they got. $100 is going to give them the incentive. And last weekend was a huge spike in vaccination.
Yeah, well, I want to
Direct result.
keep pushing that. And I'd like to enact this tonight, and I'd like to, I know MMA says we need town meeting approval. I don't think we're gonna spend much here at all. I'd like to move ahead without that. We have that article that says, you know, we can spend federal money, we're spending federal money on the road. And if someone sues us over it, well, then we'll have to put it in their taxes.
All right, I move that we enact the incentive, vaccination incentive program as proposed by Chairman Spear.
I'll second.
I do have a discussion. I would like to have a little bit of money to maybe buy a couple of Facebook ads. I was thinking, publicity, maybe an ad in the paper. I would $500-600 to. Is that agreeable for folks?
Yeah.
I want to put this in different places, you know, we'll put it on the listserv and the website, but I want to put it down. I want to put a notice at the geek store, and I want to put it down at the 3 lobster buying stations, and I want to put it on Facebook, where I think the audience that we're trying to get is. How do you know how to put an ad on Facebook, Jeff?
Or we can figure that out.
Okay,
Page.
I'll put
Do
600.
we have a Facebook page?
Well, it's not an official, it's a South Thomaston Facebook page started by Sandy Retzloff and somebody else. And it hasn't been updated.
Oh, God, I didn't even know
Which
Okay.
means she's probably the controller.
Administrator.
that. Hopefully it's not associated. But anyways, so, further discussion? All those in favor?
Just to clarify, it's coming.
Yeah.
And we won't be able to reimburse it?
We won't be able to actually pay the money until we get it, but we can, we can put that in the notes.
I have a copy of that.
Sure, I have made one for you.
So if,
So,
I'm also gonna go to the county and ask them to do something similar on a county-wide basis.
well, but can you do me your motion again? Faster than I type. You made a motion to enact the vaccine.
The vaccine incentive proposal that goes by John.
With this, $600, up to $600 budget.
5% plus of the people that are vaccinated.
This isn't just residents.
No,
I'm talking about people that are coming in from Washington and Warren.
Does that make sense?
And if you're spending all day down there at the co-op and. No, I think, the reason I don't think we're gonna get much is because I think we have an extremely high vaccination rate. I think it may. You know, it may go to people who work here and don't live here, but I'm fine with that.
well, I think the area, I think Knox County's got a pretty high vaccination.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then you go right up the road and we got Waldo's got high transmission rate.
So does Lincoln.
Oh,
Lincoln
Lincoln
made
now?
this today, yeah.
And I don't think Waldo has a high inoculation rate either. I don't think they have as many vaccines. Although I didn't see any kind of a direct correlation between the ones that are having high cases and
Well, my real fear here is that the longer this stays alive, some variant is gonna find its way around. My real fear. We're gonna be.
and for a lot of people, belief is that it already has. What it's finding is people are it's attacking. For the most part, it's attacking those that were not highly susceptible before, young kids, and healthy. And the Delta is going after them. And I think that's because it can't go to you and it can't go to you because you're inoculated. So where's it going to go to the people that aren't?
It's like any,
It's what they do. I mean,
it's called evolution.
that's right.
That's what anything does.
So we will have a mass discussion. More bad stuff happen.
We can have a mass discussion Tuesday, or, I mean,
Well, it may not be again unnecessary.
Yeah.
The question is, yeah, on top of.
yeah, well, we've already enacted before Jeff came on, that if 20, with policy, that if, I can't remember the exact number, but if more, was it 18 people were showed up here, that we were gonna make a motion to adjourn to a time specific or something. And vote.
I know we were doing that before. I didn't know.
No, we can, it was just, Jan wasn't there that day, I don't think. Because that's when we went back to open meetings, we were okay with that, but we weren't okay with having 60 people. So, I mean, actually, I think we said 18. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Thank you. And I am gonna go to the county and ask them if they would do something similar.
We just voted.
That's it, yeah, we should, the appeal to the county should be, we want to retain our top-notch status, the top of the vaccinated class.
Okay, well, and the other thing is that Dorothy has got some statistics on the broadband. She threw some out at one of the meetings when they first approached to get $7.7 million. She regurgitated tons of data on county and the percentage that are above and her argument was, if you look at it, the county can't spend the money on it because it's not an ARP. We couldn't do it if we wanted
I'm
to.
gonna look back to that again.
Can you tell me if that's the right interlocal agreement?
Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome. I found the other one.
I believe it is. I never saw more than one.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always seen it.
But I thought he gave us a signed copy.
The signed copy is the bylaws.
Oh, and he didn't, we never got a signed copy of the interlocal?
Gary, how? Laptop.
Because that's the case I found in my closet.